Hi guys, Goffy here and welcome back to the channel. In today's video, I want to share with you guys a trip that I took to London earlier in the year that just completely changed the way I shoot and changed my appreciation for the art of street photography. Now you may actually have already seen this video from a couple of other perspectives, as the people I'm talking about are Dave Herring and Chris Prince from the US and Mike Chudley and James Parsons from London. I've linked their videos down in the description if you want to watch it from their perspectives, but make sure you stay and watch this one first. But for Dave and I, being in London doing street photography is very much out of our comfort zones. We definitely fall more into the kind of travel and landscape photography than we do London street photography. But for me, I actually found myself watching James and Mike do their thing on their home turf more than I actually found myself taking photos. Just observing them doing what they do best absolutely blew my mind, and I learned so much from this 8-hour photo walk that I want to share it with you today. So first up then is all about the art of seeing, observing, and maybe preempting a little bit. Now, I'm a really simple guy. When it comes to my travel and landscape photography, my general method of taking pictures is I see something pretty and I take a pretty picture of it. I then upload that to the internet and hope it gets a couple of likes. But importantly, I'm seeing things and then taking the picture. Now, when it comes to street photography, it just doesn't work because by the time you've seen something happen, it's too late. The moment's gone and it's past. And this was really annoying me. I would frequently think to myself, that was a good thing, and I've missed it. But what I started to notice was Mike and James weren't missing it. They were there taking the picture of the thing that I just missed. Now, it's because we're approaching photography in two fundamentally different ways. I see a nice thing and I take a nice picture. Them guys are looking around them and observing the environment and kind of preempting if something's going to happen. Whether it's like the flow of people, whether it's something a little bit unusual that's happening, they're always looking around them thinking that might happen. And if it does, they're there ready to take the picture before it's happened, whereas for me, I see it and I've missed it. Now next up then is lightning does in fact strike twice. This was one from Mike, and I can't really remember the situation we were in, but we'd all just missed a really obviously good photo situation. The lot of us. We'd all just stood there and watched it happen, and we all missed it. And for me, Dave and Chris, we all felt a little bit disheartened by the fact that we just missed an absolute killer shot. But Mike was like, don't worry about it guys, lightning does strike twice. More often than not, there is a reason that it happened once. If the kind of variables have stayed the same, it's very likely to happen again, even if you don't think it is. Like if somebody has just, I don't know, slipped, or somebody has just looked up at a plane, or somebody is kind of covering their eyes from the sun, the chances are it's gonna happen again, you just need to wait it out. So if you do see a really cool photo opportunity that you've missed, think to yourself, has much changed, or is there actually a reasonable chance that this could happen again if I just linger for a few minutes? Now something that I did really enjoy about street photography that I didn't really think I would is the fact that street photography is a game of equal opportunity. Some areas of photography feel a little bit unfair at times. It feels like some people have an unfair disadvantage against you. It may be that you really want to do studio photography and certain portraits with certain strobe lights, but you don't have any of it and somebody else does. Or maybe you love landscape photography, but you live in a town whereas somebody else who lives in the Lake District or up in Scotland, it's hard to compete with them, isn't it? But street photography, assuming you have a camera and you get to a town or a city, it's fair game. And here in London, there was 5 of us together with 5 M11s and 5 35mm lenses in the same place at the same time. The only thing that was different about our images was us, our own kind of creative vision, and also importantly, our own skill. And for me, it was very clear there was a skill gap. Those guys were taking some incredible images that I could have taken. I could have been 3 steps to the right, pointing the camera in the same direction as them, but I wasn't. I didn't see it. And I think this made the whole thing feel really fun. The fact that the only reason they were getting better pictures than me was because they're better than me was actually really inspiring. And I guess it's partly why I'm making this video. I learned so much from these guys, and it was nothing to do with the situation or the gear they had. It was all down to actual skill. And that was really impressive to see. And the reason that these guys are better than me at street photography is really obvious, and it leads on to the next one. And the next thing is getting the steps in. And that kind of has two different meanings for us in London. First of all, a very literal meaning. We did something like 32,000 steps in 8 hours. It was chaotic. We were marching around London like no tomorrow. We started off in Bank, then we ended up down the Embankment, then we was in Mayfair, then we was in kind of the Trafalgar Square area, then we were back to Bank for the end of work, and then we was at London Bridge. We literally got the steps in. And getting the steps in and walking all around London and not getting the tube marching down the streets means you see more, you can be in the right place at the right time of day. Secondly, the metaphoric version of this is these guys have practiced the art of street photography over and over and over and over again. They go out and shoot the streets of London all of the time. And all of that time and patience and ultimately practice they put into their craft makes them exceptionally good at it. I'm not sure in photography that practice ever makes perfect, but it definitely makes you bloody good. And that's one of the things that I think is really important. It doesn't matter how many YouTube videos you sit and watch in front of the screen, like this one that I'm trying to teach you something. Ultimately, you have to get out there and put it into practice. And finally, and most importantly, my biggest takeaway of the day is how important community is to me and my photography. Community is just as important as it is taking photos. It's the main reason I started this YouTube channel. In my normal daily life, I don't know anybody that's into photography, and that was why I started making videos for the internet. I wanted to just meet people that were like-minded. And I guess this trip to London shows that this whole YouTube channel was a complete success story. I met someone from London, I met people from America, all in one place through just one shared love. This photography community can sometimes feel really toxic, but ultimately most of us out here are just nice guys with a shared passion that we all just want to share with each other. And for me, this trip to London was exactly that. I learned so much, and to be honest, I come away from that trip feeling more hyped and energized for photography than I felt for a while. So it's been about 6 weeks, and I've got a New Year's resolution this year. So if all of this talk of community is something you think you'd be interested in and meeting people in real life, and you live in the UK, then make sure you follow me over on Instagram because I want to host some photo walks in London this year. Just go take some pictures, meet like-minded people, maybe go for a beer, maybe go for a coffee. I don't really know. I've not thought it through, but my New Year's resolution is to do more of this. Meet people in real life that I've met through this community. So if that's something you'd be interested in, make sure you follow me over on Instagram. But if you've enjoyed this video and you aren't in the UK, that doesn't mean you can't like and subscribe. Consider following along because I want to do more like this with you guys. Thank you for watching, and hopefully I'll see you in the next video. Cheers.